How's it guys, Munash here, and today we have another Abyss solo with Magneto, and today we're up against Killmonger. So this is a fight that I've seen a lot of questions being asked about, and I did get a few requests for it, so I just figured I had to try it out. And it went a lot better than I expected. I mean, I thought Magneto would do well for this fight, but I didn't imagine he would solo it. Just due to not having offensive ability accuracy when he's not using special attacks. But it actually still works around that, which you'll see just now. So the strategy for this fight is pretty much the same as the one for Iron Man, Infinity War, Invisible Woman, Darkhawk. Basically you just want to build your special 2 with the parry heavy. You could just do standard combos with medium and light attacks, but that just consumes more hits. And if you want to solo this fight reliably, then you really need to maximize your damage per hit. So Magneto's heavy attack, having only one hit, is pretty good for that. And you also notice that when I'm knocking him down with the heavy attack, I'm not gaining any prowess buffs since I don't have ability accuracy. But when I do knock him down with the special attack, I will gain the prowess buff. So the armor break from the special 2 will disable his vibranium armor, so now no more reverb and that power gain whenever you debuff him. And here's where the fight gets really interesting, because you need to get a prowess buff in order to refresh the armor break, but you're not going to be able to do that by knocking him down with the heavy attack. However, you can still double these prowesses when you hold the heavy attack, which means you can actually maintain the armor break for the entire fight. And that just makes him a lot less menacing. So now you don't take any reverberation damage at all, and now you can debuff him as much as you want without him gaining extra power. So now what you want to do is build up to your special 3, while maintaining that armor break by charging the heavy attack. So the special 3 hit will do about 40,000 damage, and then you get the bleeds after that, and usually you will have about 30 prowesses before you drop the special 3. So I'll have 30 prowesses, but you always get less than 30 bleeds since it's only a 70% chance. Sometimes I was getting 22 or 24 or 18. But the bleeds themselves generally do a good amount of damage, because with 24 it's about 3,400 a tick, and it ticks for I think 11.5 seconds with max deep wounds. So 23 ticks, pretty good damage. So for this fight I generally prefer baiting the special 2, mainly because it's a lot easier to punish with the charged up heavy attack. It's usually just 2 dashbacks that I can punish it, or sometimes if I delay it, it's just 1 dashback. I mean 2 or 1 dashbacks after the initial dex, but you can sort of just watch the first few hits, then align yourself. One technique you can use to sort of prevent him from throwing a special 1 is when he does have that special 1 ready, you just hold block and then you let him dash at you, and after you dex that first hit, he will follow up with the second one, and that's the one you want to parry. So basically, because you're holding block, he's going to be a lot less likely to throw a special attack. Just like how you usually wouldn't throw a special 1 when the opponent is blocking. Also, I have a habit of dashing back once after dexing a special 1, just so I can realign myself to get a parry consistently. So I find the special 1 pushes me back more because I'm doing a lot more dexing. And I really didn't want to get cornered in this fight, because then his special 2 and heavy attacks become a lot more difficult to dex. One other thing that I do to avoid getting cornered, and I spoke about this in my combo baiting video, is basically just to alternate between holding block and being in neutral. As in not pressing anything and letting your champ passively move across the screen. That sort of just slowly allows you to move the fight more towards the opponent's corner, while preventing him from throwing specials most of the time. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that Magneto is the best counter, hands down. And it's funny because a lot of people actually think that he only really shines against champs who are metal, which Killmonger clearly isn't. It would be nice if he was. I mean, that would make the fight a lot easier and quicker, but hey, at least they're staying faithful to the comic book lore. Because Magneto has never had an effect on pure vibranium due to it being some sort of special cosmic metal with somewhat magical properties. So yeah, best counter confirmed. The only thing about this fight is it does sort of require you to have a fair bit of concentration, because Magneto has a relatively slow playstyle with the parry heavy and watching all those special 3 animations, and also having a 1-hit heavy just means it's gonna take longer to use up your skirmish or warfare charges. So this fight took me about 20 minutes, but he is very effective. And I think a 5-star can also solo this with the right setup, because besides this being a rank 3 6-star, it's a pretty bare bones Magneto, as in I'm not using any boosts or suicides, and he's not awakened, and I don't have any synergies besides the evade synergy from Nick Fury. Also, judging by this fight, I think it's fair to say that he should be able to solo Abyss Aegon as well. I'm not sure if he would solo Korg as well, just because he is bleed immune, but he should still be able to do a good amount of damage and at very most take 1 revive. And his basic attacks deal energy damage, so that generally would make Korg a lot easier compared to using champs who do physical damage. And most champs do physical damage. So there you have it, Magneto completely dismantles Killmonger without any boosts, suicides or synergies. And that's just one thing I love about Magneto, is that he's a plug and play champ basically. You pull him and he's good to go. So if you were still wondering who to bring for this fight, look no further. And I've already said this a couple of times, but I just want to emphasize that Magneto is pretty solid for several Abyss fights. Just looking at part 4, let's see, he can solo Darkhawk, solos Killmonger. You can do Gladiator Hulk in about 4 revives, although it's a very long fight. I believe he can 2-shot Yellow Jacket, since he's metal, along with Korg. He might be able to 2-shot Morningstar as well, but she is bleed immune, so maybe 2 revives. You can solo MODOK. Oh, and there's 2 Darkhawks and 2 Killmongers, so more solos. He should also be good for Red Skull, although I'm not sure you do more damage than Nick Fury. You might need to run Max Petrify though and stun him before launching a special 3, just to make sure that he doesn't get to 3 bars of power, due to having class advantage. And that's just part 4. There are a couple of fights on other parts that he'd work really well for, such as Cable, Iron Man Infinity War, Omega Red, Ghost, Green Goblin, Thor, Aegon, Old Man Logan, and of course there's also Korgs and Darkhawks on most of the parts. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this one. I hope you guys found this insightful. Thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.